Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope you are fine. I am going to discuss mathematics class second year, chapter number 2, differentiation, exercise number 2.9. In this lecture, I will discuss question 1, part 1 to 4. That is most important for paper's point of view. If you are new on my channel, then please subscribe, share, like and press bell icon on my YouTube channel for latest update. Let's start question 1, part 1. Question 1. Determine the intervals in which f is increasing or decreasing from the domain mentioned. In each case, f of x is equal to sin x. Interval x belong to minus pi to plus pi. Let's start question 1. F of x is equal to sin x. Differentiate with respect to x on both sides. F prime of x is equal to derivative of sin x is equal to cos x. For stationary point, we put f prime of x is equal to 0. So cos of x is equal to 0. X is equal to cos inverse of 0. Cos inverse 0 is equal to cos inverse 0 90 degree. So x is equal to plus minus pi over 2. X is equal to plus pi over 2 minus pi over 2. For your information, we draw a real line. Minus pi to plus pi. Next minus pi over 2 plus pi over 2. So minus pi over 2 point plus pi over 2. This is real line for on intervals. So if we put x is equal to minus pi in first derivative f prime of x, put x is equal to minus pi in question number 1. So f prime of pi is equal to cos of pi is equal to cos pi is equal to minus 1, that is negative. So graph lies between below on the real line. Next, put x is equal to minus pi over 2. In 1, so p f of f prime of minus pi over 2 is equal to cos of minus pi over 2 is equal to cos pi over 2 is equal to cos pi 90 pi over 2 90 degrees, so cos 90 degree is equal to 0. Positive, it means graph lie on above the minus pi over 2. Next, check pi over 2, put x is equal to pi over 2 in 1, so f prime of pi over 2 is equal to cos of pi over 2 is equal to cos pi over 2. Cos pi over 2 mean 90 degree, cos 90 degree is equal to 0. It means positive, so lie above on the line, real line. Next, pi put x is equal to pi in equation 1. F prime of pi is equal to cos of pi is equal to minus 1, that will be equal to negative. So graph lie below on the real line. Next, so we have subinterval minus pi to minus pi over 2. Next, minus pi over 2 to plus pi over 2. Next, plus pi over 2 pi since f prime of x is equal to cos x first negative 0. Whenever x belong to minus pi over 2 to minus pi over 2, so f of x has f of x is decreasing on the interval. On the interval f of x is below the real line, f of x is decreasing on the interval minus pi to minus pi over 2. Next, since f prime of x minus pi over 2 to pi over 2, f prime of x is equal to cos x, it means above on the real line greater than 0. Whenever x belong to minus pi over 2 to plus pi over 2 lie above on the real line graph. So f prime of x is increasing on the interval minus pi over 2 to plus pi over 2. Next, pi over 2 to pi, since f prime of x is equal to cos x, f prime of x is equal to cos x, pi over 2 to pi below on the real line. So x less cos of x less than 0 whenever x belong to pi over 2 to pi. So f prime of x is decreasing on the interval pi over 2 to pi. Which is the required solution. Next question. Question number 1, part number 2. Question number 1, part number 2. F of x is equal to cos x. First, as it is, f of x is equal to cos x. Differentiate with respect to x on both sides. F prime of x is equal to derivative of cos x with respect to x is equal to minus sin x. Equation 1. For a stationary point, put f prime of x is equal to 0. So minus sin x is equal to 0. X is equal to sin inverse minus multiply, so sin x is equal to 0. X is equal to sin inverse 0. sine 0 0, x is equal to 0. Next, for your information, we draw a real line. X belong to minus pi over 2 to plus pi over 2. X belong to minus pi over 2 to plus pi over 2 given in questions. So given interval is first minus pi over 2 to pi over 2. X is equal to 0. 0.0. We check that interval positive or negative. First, put x is equal to minus pi over 2 in equation 1. So f prime of x is equal to minus sin x. It means f prime of x is equal to minus pi over 2 is equal to minus sine into pi over 2. Sine pi over 2 90 degree, 90 degree sine is equal to 1. So is equal to minus 1. That will be equal to negative. So graph lie below on the real line. Next, put x is equal to 0 in equation 1. F prime of 0 is equal to minus sine into 0. Sine 0 is equal to 0. Positive. So graph lies above on the real line. Next, put x is equal to pi over 2 in equation 1. F prime of pi over 2 is equal to minus sine pi over 2. F prime of minus pi over 2 is equal to minus sine into minus pi over 2. Minus multiply minus plus sine pi over 2 1, so plus. So this will be equal to positive. So graph lies above on the real line. Graph lies above on the real line because 1 positive, x is equal to positive, minus sine 0 0 positive. So again graph lies 0 0 to minus pi to 0 is equal to positive. Minus pi over 2 positive and 0 is equal to positive. So graph lies above on the real lines. Next, f prime of x is equal to pi over 2 is equal to minus sine pi over 2. Sine pi over 2 is equal to 90 degrees. Sine 90 degree is equal to 1 minus 1. That will be equal to negative. So graph lies below on the real line. These points. So we have subinterval. that is minus pi over 2 to 0, and 0 to pi over 2. Next, since f prime of x is equal to minus sine x, minus sine x positive 0 whenever x belong to minus pi over 2 to 0. Next, so f of x is increasing on the interval minus pi over 2 to 0. Since f prime of x is equal to minus sine x, next 0 to pi over 2 below the real line graph less than 0, it means graph lies below on the real line. So minus sine x less than 0 whenever x belong to 0 to pi over 2. So f of x is decreasing on the interval decreasing on the interval 0 to pi over 2, which is the required solution. Next, question number 1, part number 3. Question number 1, part number 3. F of x is equal to f of x is equal to 4 minus x square. Domain x belong to minus 2 to plus 2. Dear students, next question number 1, part number 3. Part number 3, f of x is equal to 4 minus x square. Domain x belong to minus 2 to plus 2. First of all, let's suppose y is equal to f of x is equal to 4 minus x square. Differentiate with respect to x on both sides. F prime of x is equal to derivative of 4 with respect to x is equal to 0 minus derivative of x square with respect to x is equal to 2x. So f prime of x is equal to minus 2x for stationary point. F prime of x is equal to 0. F prime of x is equal to 0, so minus 2x is equal to 0. 2x is equal to 0. Dividing by 2 on both sides. 2 to cancel, x is equal to 0. We draw a real line. Domain x is equal to minus 2 to plus 2. Minus 2 to plus 2. Point x is equal to 0. So we have subinterval minus 2 to 0 and 0 to 2. First interval and second interval. So we have subinterval. Minus 2 to 0 first, minus 2 to 0 second, 0 to 2. Next, since put f prime of x is equal to minus 2x, put x is equal to 0 in f prime of x. So f prime of minus 2 is equal to minus 2x. So minus 2 is equal to 4 plus positive 4, hence graph lies above on the real line. X is equal to minus 2. Put x is equal to minus 2 in f prime of x. F prime of minus 2 is equal to minus 2 into minus 2. X is equal to minus 2 is equal to minus multiply minus plus 2 times 4 is plus. So graph lies above on the real line. Next, put x is equal to 0. In f prime of x. So f prime of 0 is equal to minus 2 into 0 is equal to 0. Also positive. So graph lies below on real line. Next, third, put x is equal to 2 in f prime of x. So f prime of 2 is equal to minus 2 into 2 is equal to minus 4 negative. So graph lies below on the real line. Since f prime of x minus 2 to 2 lies above on the real lines. F prime of x is increasing. Since f prime of x is increasing, so whenever x belong to minus 2 to 0, so f of x has increasing on the interval next. Since 0 to 2 check. Since f prime of x is decreasing interval 0 to 2, whenever x belong to 0 to 2, interval decrease. So graph lies below on the real line. So f of x has decreasing on the interval 0 to 2, which is the required solution. Next proof. Next, proof number 4. Question number 1, part number 4. F of x is equal to 4 minus x square. 4 minus x square part 3. So f of x, 4 part f of x is equal to x square plus 3x plus 8. 4 part f of x is equal to x square plus 3x plus 2. Domain x belong to minus 4 to 1. This is domain. First of all, let's suppose f of x is equal to x square plus 3x plus 2. Differentiate with respect to x on both sides. f prime of x is equal to derivative of x square with respect to x is equal to 2x plus derivative of 3x with respect to x is equal to 3 plus derivative of 2 with respect to x is equal to 0, because 2 is a constant derivative will be equal to 0. For stationary point, f prime of x is equal to 0. So 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. 2x is equal to minus 3, dividing by 2 on both sides, so x is equal to minus 3 over 2. Real line domain -4 to 1. X is equal to minus 3 divide 2. It means minus 3 divide 2. इसको minus 3 divide 2 or you write below point. Check f prime of x is equal to 2x plus 3. Put x is equal to minus 4 in f prime of x. F prime of minus 4 is equal to 2 into minus 4 plus 3 is equal to minus 8 plus 3 is equal to minus 5 negative. So graph lies below on the real line. Next, put x is equal to minus 3 over 2 in f prime of x. So f prime of minus 3 divided by 2 is equal to 2 into minus 3 over 2 plus 3, 2 to cancel, is equal to minus 3 plus 3 is equal to 0. Positive. Graph lies above on the side of minus 3 over 2. Next, put x is equal to 1 in f prime of x. F prime of 1 is equal to 2 into 1 plus 3 is equal to plus 3 is equal to 5. Positive. So graph lies above on the real line. Real line side 1. First interval decreasing, graph lies below on the real line, and second interval above on the real line, because graph lies on the above side of real line. So we have interval sub-interval first minus 4 to minus 3 over 2 and second interval minus 3 over 2 to 1. Since f prime of x is increasing or decreasing because graph lies below on the real line minus 4 to minus 3 over 2. Since f prime of x is decreasing, whenever x belong to minus 4 to minus 3 over 2, so f prime of x is decreasing on the interval minus 4 to minus 3 divided by 2. Next, check that minus 3 over 2 to 1. Since f prime of x is increasing because graph lies above on the real lines. So minus 3 over 2 to 1 interval increase. Since f prime of x is increasing, whenever x belong to minus 3 over 2 to plus 1, so f prime of x is increasing on the interval minus 3 divide 2 to 1, which is the required solution. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. If you like my lecture, then please subscribe, share, like and press bell icon on my YouTube channel for latest update. Thanks for watching my YouTube video. Okay, Allah Hafiz.